Welcome back to our series on becoming an entrepreneur and starting your own consulting business. In today's lecture, number 8, we're diving into the most crucial part, getting paid. We'll cover billing, receiving payments, and managing your cash flow. Let's get started. So, you've done the hard work. You've received your state's approval, got your EIN, and your liability insurance is in place. Congratulations! Now you're ready to start billing your clients. A fantastic tool for this is Quickbooks. It simplifies creating invoices and tracking payments, making your life so much easier. One of the first things you need to manage is your own salary. It's smart to run your payroll a few weeks before the end of the month. This means you need to make absolutely sure there is enough money in your business checking account to cover it. You're the first employee, and you need to get paid reliably now. Let's talk about the billing cycle. Your work order or contract will specify your billable hours. For example, 40 hours a week. Life happens, right? Some days you might work 6 hours, other days you might work 10 to catch up. As long as you hit that 40-hour total for the week, you're usually good. However, many clients will want a detailed breakdown of your daily hours and the specific activities you worked on. Some larger consulting firms might have their own timesheet system you'll have to use. If they don't, you can use QuickBooks or other software to track your daily hours and activities meticulously. This transparency builds trust and is often a contractual requirement. Okay. So you've sent the invoice. Now for the receiving cycle. This is where things can get a bit complex. It is absolutely vital that you read your contract's payment terms very, very carefully. If you're new to the consulting world, you might have to accept what's called a net 30 payment term. This means you'll receive the cash in your bank account 30 days after you submit your invoice. Yes, a whole month later. Some clients might ask you to submit your invoices at the end of the month, while others might allow for bi-monthly billing. Here's a pro tip: the more frequently you can bill, the better your cash flow will be. Billing every 2 weeks means money comes into your account faster than billing once a month. Always aim for more frequent billing cycles if you can negotiate it. This brings us to the all-important topic of balancing your cash flow. When you first start, your initial working capital is key. This is the money you have in the bank to get things going. It might be your own savings, a personal loan you've given to the business, or maybe a loan from family or friends. This initial capital covers your incorporation expenses, software costs like QuickBooks, and other startup fees. But what happens if there's a delay in a client's payment? Or what if you find yourself on the bench, meaning you ray between projects for a few weeks? This is where your working capital gets tested. You'll need to inject more funds into your business account to pay the bills, including your own salary. This is the reality of being an entrepreneur. You might be tempted to use business credit cards to cover shortfalls. You can pay a partial amount on your credit card bills, and the interest charges can be expensed as a business cost. However, with today's high interest rates, this can become a very expensive habit. It's a slippery slope. So I'd advise against relying on this strategy. My advice: keep your business credit cards to a minimum. Having just one or two makes it much easier to track expenses and manage statements. If you're ever in a tight spot, don't be afraid to call the credit card company. Sometimes, they're willing to work with you and allow a slightly later payment without a penalty. It never hurts to ask. Remember, large corporations have access to millions of dollars in working capital to smooth out these bumps. As a new solo consultant, you won't have that luxury. You're going to learn the delicate balancing act of cash flow management firsthand. It's a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice. Don't be discouraged if it feels challenging at first. Typically, after about 6 months in business, you'll start to get a real feel for the rhythm of your income and expenses. You'll become a pro at anticipating your needs and managing your funds. So, to recap, use software like QuickBooks for professional billing. Understand your contract's payment terms inside and out. Try to negotiate frequent billing cycles to improve cash flow. Build a solid working capital foundation, and be very cautious with credit card debt. Managing your money effectively is just as important as the great work you do for your clients. It's the key to building a sustainable and successful consulting business. That's all for today's lecture on billing and receiving. It's a learning process, so be patient with yourself. You've got this. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips on your entrepreneurial journey. See you in the next video.